Rihanna just dropped her third baby, a little girl, and ASAP Rocky was standing by her the whole time playing the role. He's a great father, apparently likes to be in the background and cool with it while he still has his career too. So, can Rihanna? They say women can't have it all, but is Rihanna proof that women can have it all, or the fact that she seemed to be focused on family shows that she can't have it all?
Okay, hold on. You thought that was slick, SNM. You thought that was real slick, right? Because how you gonna mischaracterize me here when I say and then pivot? If you were saying what you're saying, then that's one thing. But I can tell you were listening with your emotional ears. I kept on thinking,
I
oh my
agree
God,
with you.
this is a great ad for emotional ears. Because if you rewind it and heard what I said, of course I didn't agree it was bitch made. I'm talking about the motivation when y'all do it and the difference in terms of logic and how y'all identify a thing that's not
Correlation.
really a thing. Exactly, right?
Correlation.
So, hey guys, here's where women ears. If that doesn't work, then it's like, because I let her run out to the sunset, right? And that's cool,
You just
right? So I just thought, huh?
Nick, you just said a little while. You just said when you were talking about Cardi, you said she should have known that doing things on the way out causes trouble, meaning causes the other person to be emotional and makes it more difficult, i.e., bitch made, i.e., bitch behavior, i.e., when you get hurt on the way out, you turn into a bitch. Well,
Okay.
well,
So,
I just want to make sure I understand. Can I just basically, the women on the panel are saying currently that bitches be emotional. Right, and you're saying that
we're putting it in men speak because that's what y'all been referring entire time. So we're using men speak right now because y'all refer as bitch this, bitch that. So to make sure you guys clearly understand, we're using men speak.
And I said welcome because now you get a chance to be a part of it. Women have been on the other end of earning
have been bitches for a long time.
Years.
Right?
Welcome and welcome in 2025. The roles have reversed.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hold on. Before we move on, I gotta say this because I feel like we're missing each other still, right? So when we define something nuanced, oftentimes when we define something like she's being a bitch, right? It's not so much just the action. It's what motivates the action to a certain extent, right? And especially when there's no logic to the action. Like keying somebody's car, what's the logic in that? Like, okay, now he got to go and pay. That could have been money that you're trying to get out of him. So when y'all do stuff and we typically call it bitch shit, like I'm a good father, but you want to keep me away from my kid, right? But if I call you a bitch because of that, it's not the same shit, right? So what I'm saying is for y'all want to look at an action and not have any consideration for the fact of the money part. And I'm just simply positing that if there's a logical financial case to be made, I don't see a bitch in that. I see a business person. Y'all automatically associate everything with being a bitch, and I don't agree with that. Well, I think there's more nuance to what we call bitches. Right? There's more nuance to how y'all move that would call us to say you were being a bitch. Most of the time.
He's also trashing her because she's with Stefan, but he's been with numerous women.
I have not. In the interviews I've seen him, I haven't seen. If you're bringing in new evidence, cool. I'm strictly talking about whether or not financially he has a legitimate case because we all recognize that she's a bigger star, which probably also means she's made more money. Right. But we also then want to discredit the impact that he had on her elevation. The same way that y'all don't like when men do. So I get it. And I'm cool with the tic-tac and all that, but I'm saying be a little consistent. Because if it was a woman who was married to a more powerful man, and you would say all the ways that he benefited regardless of what she did, you'd find value in it. They're trying to ascertain value. Ascertaining value does not make you a bitch. Just because you don't like when a man does something does not make him sassy or a bitch. Y'all use that shit too indiscriminately is what I'm saying. And I'm saying when we use it, there's a little bit more pinpoint missile lock in terms of how we're appropriating that term. Am I lying, Jay?
Tomato.
No.
Tomato, potato.
Everybody becomes it. There's a whole thing called a crime of passion. Meaning when someone's emotional, they tend to do irrational things. Whether that is a man.
Just because you're emotional.
But according to you all, that is the bitch. That's when the bitch comes out.
No. Mean-spirited emotional. That's bitchiness.
Really?
And Crystal,
Jay,
listen.
You gonna keep moving the goalposts like that?
No, listen.
Push it down the road?
I'll lay with this on this point, right? All I'm saying is I agree with you, S&M. Men do have emotion. I think most people have emotion. The question becomes, when does your emotion wrestle out your logic, right? Or when does it overcome, right? So maybe the line is different. Yes, men have emotion. And I agree with you, Crystal. I did say that, hey, Cardi is not smart, but she was the one that's pregnant. She was the one saying, hey, I'm not getting this because of this. So if that's your impetus, you have to be logical enough to understand why you're in the predicament that you are, in part. I'm not even saying that's why he did it, but if he's logical about why he did it, and now because he's doing some fuck shit, he's motivated, then come on, y'all. It's not strictly because he's a bitch ass nigga. Sorry. It's a little bit more nuance to that. But go ahead. And but now that we're talking about Rihanna, right? And I'm glad we're talking about Rihanna because Rihanna proves something that I've been saying for a long time. Y'all can't have it all. Yes, we have not seen Rihanna drop an album since when? I know she's doing the 50 thing. She worked a Billy, but what have you seen her do aside from that half-ass show that she did for the Super Bowl? And I love you, Rihanna. I'm just saying the performance wasn't giving what you normally give, and we understand why. You know what I'm saying? Jay-Z, your people, made it happen. Cool. I'm just saying, it wasn't the greatest, but we really haven't. Matter of fact, she looks like a woman who hasn't worked in a long time, right? Like, I'm just so, like, the question we were really trying to, I mean, first of all, like, the fact that I'm saying that and that would piss anybody off to me is funny, or even, ruffle any feathers. I think it's a great thing. She chose to kind of lean into being a mom, to being a wife, or is she married? I don't know. Hopefully they are, but if they're not, whatever, kudos to them. Like, she chose to lean into that part of herself. And that's okay in a world driven about, oh, I got to be a boss all the time. Oh, I can't be feminine. Oh, I got to be front facing all the time. She chose not to do that. So I'm not saying it as a knock. You dig what I'm saying? Like, I think now, if you look at her blueprint, the one way that people can take from her is to say, oh, maybe I can build the empire first, and then now I can afford to take the time out. But most people can't really afford to do that, right? Maybe you can build up your career to a point where you found somebody who can be a great partner to you, right? And then allow you to kind of get into your soft life bag, depending on how expensive your soft life is. Because nowadays it seems like the price is going up. But the point I'm trying to make is, if you supply your own bag, then maybe you can find you an A$AP Rocky who's willing to be your Mr. Husband or Mrs. Wife or whatever the fuck to hold you down, right? Which is rare in and of itself, but kudos to him for being the kind of man that is redefining what masculinity looks like. But at the end of the day, the truth of the matter is that, I'm sorry, ladies, right? Rihanna is showing you can't have it all. Say it with me. I can't. Nor should you be expected to. Damn, that's a lot. Y'all give birth, you're supposed to be a boss and be a baby. Come on, man, that's a lot. So you can't, and caveat, at the same time. I probably should have said that at the beginning. You can't do it all, comma, at the same time. You know what I'm saying? What I would suggest, though, is y'all do it early. Have the wife life and the kid thing early, right? Because y'all live longer than us anyway. And then maybe you can build your empire because, the whole biology thing at 35, whatever. So that would be my suggestion. Y'all can't have it all at the same time. But if you plan, right, I think it's more smarter to do the wife family thing first and then career. But if you do it the other way around, good luck to you. Maybe you'll be like Rihanna, who makes $1 billion and can decide to finally rest on her laurels in terms of being a mom and a wife or whatever. Yeah. Go ahead, Rihanna. We love you, Riri.